Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed where you're just thinking, how on earth am I ever going to get everything done? How am I going to catch up? If you haven't, God bless you. Please DM me on any social platform and let me know what your secret is. On the other hand, for me and the rest of us, I know that I am not the only one, thank God, who has asked myself this question and also realized that getting it all done is not actually a thing. So if you can relate or know someone who can, this episode is definitely for you because I want to lean into how there's no such thing as getting it all done and how to be at peace with that and to still be productive. So let's dive in. Are you too busy to prep healthy meals? Do you feel self-conscious about your body and your clothes not fitting right, but you don't have time to work out? Does your life feel unorganized and messy? Do you wish you had routines and habits that made health simple, even with your busy schedule? I know, I've been there. Hi, I'm Shannon Marquita, and no one ever really taught me how to eat healthy. I didn't know anything about nutrition, so I found myself eating whatever was easy, which definitely impacted my energy, weight, and focus. That's why I created this podcast, to show you that through healthy habits and time management, you can know you're doing health right. So stop scrolling social, clicking the ads, and buying all the things. Let's grab our Americano and pop in our AirPods. It's time to solve the real problem together. Welcome home. A fresh start awaits. Today's episode is legit a question and its answer all in one in the title. So if you have to go, just know you already know the answer. So how do you do it all? I don't. If anyone thought that I do, let me just go ahead and correct you. I do not. And honestly, I have been in a place where I've wondered, how does everyone else do it? And I've really been trying to lean into studying what people do, how they get it all done, and how I can emulate that in my own life, because I have had this constant feeling of just being overwhelmed, being behind, feeling kind of underwater, and just sometimes feeling like I'm staying afloat, or at least trying to get there, but certainly not ahead. And so I meet with this group of ladies every other week that I just respect so much. And I love it because we went through this mastermind course together. We are in such different walks of life, but we all bring different things to the table. And this group, I just can't say enough about it. So that'll be a whole nother episode. But if you don't have any kind of supportive accountability group, I would encourage you to form that with anybody. You guys can have different goals. You can have different focuses. Some of us are married. Some of us aren't. Some of us have kids. Some of us have kids that are out of the house and littles and corporate jobs and work from home. And I mean, it's all different and it's wonderful because then any kind of question or something that we pose in the group, we get all sorts of angles and perspectives. And so in one of our meetings, I asked the question, how do you do it all? Like, how in the world are you girls doing it all? Because I'm over here just figuring out, trying to look at my schedule and see like, what can I switch? What is quote unquote going wrong, but like not really going wrong? But what can I do differently? What can I swap, adjust, pivot, all the things? And I love the group too, because there's so much honesty where they kind of just looked at me for a second and they're like, I don't. And I can't even describe what kind of freedom that answer from them offered me, because there was a part of me that was a little bit afraid to ask, because right, when we're in a group setting, we sometimes feel like maybe we don't belong, right? Like we all bring different things to the table and everybody is successful in their own way because we all have different definitions of that. But sometimes it can be a little humbling to ask a question like that when you just feel like I'm trying to do the thing, but I'm not feeling like I'm doing it, or at least not doing it well. And just the openness to answer the question and be vulnerable and real and just realize, come as you are, right? So it was great to ask them, how do you do it all? And then for them to tell me, I don't. So it just was almost permission to realize it's okay. It's okay to feel behind and not enough. It's also okay to feel like you're not doing everything that you want to do, because the reality is you are doing something, and it's a lot easier to turn a moving car than it is to get it started. So I just loved this time with the group and I appreciated their honesty so much, but it really just caused me to step back and be grateful, because we all need people in our life who are supportive and will speak truth, and also be encouraging, but also be honest, because it was great after I asked them and they said, I don't. They said, if you figure it out, let me know. So it was funny to realize I'm not the only one struggling with this. And how true is that? Usually when we come to a point of some area that we want to improve, or we feel like we just can't get the hang of, like, ask. Invite people in on your journey. Ask what they're doing and what works and what doesn't, and try to figure out how that can work in your life, because the truth is we're not the only ones. Now, after they admitted that they don't get it all done, what they did say that was really reassuring is that they just try to do the right things and do them well. And then you just pick up the rest along the way, because we can't do it all. So we just want to bring our best to the things that we are able to do and try to work in the other pieces along the way. And sometimes that might be asking for help. Sometimes that might be accepting, I'm saying these things are important, but they're not urgent. So do I really need to worry or stress about them today? Or can I put that to a different day that's a little less busy? Because we assume everyone else is doing all the things and has it all together, but that's just not true. We all are trying to do the best we can with what we have, and that's all we can really ask, right? Have our priorities, have the things that are important to us, and those things that we say, these are important, I value these things, that we need to do them well. For me, that includes presence with a CE. So wherever I am, whoever I'm with, I want to be all there. And in order to do that, I can't have my whole to-do list running through my head. I have a place that it lives. Everything that needs to get done gets written down. It has somewhere that I know it's not going to be forgotten. So when I'm with somebody, when I'm in a setting, whether it's meeting, work-related, family, anything, I can be all there. But I also have my priorities, and those are really important. So if I'm in a situation that I need to be present, I can be present with others, but I'm also present when I'm working, so that I can make sure that I'm honoring my priorities in the work time that I have blocked off. And then the reality is we just pick up the rest along the way. The stuff that we need to get done may not need to get done right now. It may be I want to organize this closet, but that doesn't need to happen today. That's a wish list item for a day when maybe it's super rainy and we're caught up on all our emails and our to-do list looks great, or we're bonding with a family member or a friend and it's like, hey, you want to help me organize this closet? That's a great day and a great place to put that task. But don't stress about it on all the other days when your emails are piling up, when you need to run from here to there and be present and productive, and you just have an extra long to-do list. Don't worry about the closet. Don't worry about the junk drawer. Put those in another place for another day, because imperfectly perfect is really great. It means that you're trying and that you're showing up and that you're doing the things and honoring your priorities. And then we just have to give ourselves grace. And trust me, from a lot of practice and experience, it's a lot easier to give other people grace than ourselves, but we need to give it to ourselves too. So know that you are not perfect. Congratulations, neither am I. And take that as permission to give yourself grace, to show up, do the best you can, honor your priorities and those that you love, and put the rest on another day, knowing that it's going to get done. It doesn't need to stress you out extra, because stressing and worrying about the things that you're not actually able to do right now doesn't add any value. It actually makes the whole situation worse. So have a system in order to prioritize and make sure nothing is getting forgotten or slip through the cracks, and just do the best you can. Ask for help when needed. I have an entire episode on inviting people into your life, and that asking for help doesn't mean you're weak. It actually is such a blessing, because people want to help. The more we ask for help, it's so amazing that for those whose love language acts of services, that's a great opportunity to let them into your life. But it also helps other people realize, oh, you need help too, so it's okay for me to ask for help. Because if we try and do all the things, there's no award to be I'm doing everything by myself, I don't need anybody. That even sounds terrible saying it out loud. So I just want to give you permission to know I'm not doing it all. Nobody is doing it all, and you don't need to either. So do what you can, do it well, show up, and put everything else where it belongs on the day and on the list that it needs to live on, and you will get to it in due time. So I hope this was helpful. I pray that you're doing well. I know it has been quite a season. I seriously have no idea how it is September. I'm excited for fall and cooler weather and going into the holidays, but I'm also not wanting to rush it. Like, I have legit been anxious and excited to put up my Christmas tree. I'm not even gonna lie. But at the same time, I'm holding off because fall is a beautiful season in itself, and I'm excited to share all of those moments and memories, and Christmas will come in due time. So I hope you're doing well. I'm excited to hear from you. If you are struggling with stress and honestly giving yourself grace, even if you are rocking the productivity area, reach out. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to give you some tips and walk this journey with you and just see how we can partner together to make life better, right? Like, know that we're not alone and just check off the things we want to check off, but also show up in the ways that we want to show up with our full heart, whole heart presence, and just doing the things that matter to us as a whole. I love you guys. I'm grateful for you, and I pray that you're doing well, and I will talk with you soon. If this podcast helped, challenged, or inspired you in some way, I would love it if you'd do me a huge favor and leave me a review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps me to hear from you and know how this is best serving you. And go ahead and screenshot this and share it in your stories. Tag me at Shannon Marquita. That's ShannonMarqueta. And send it over to a friend in a text who is ready for healthy changes in her life too. Let her know that this episode might serve her as well. I am just so grateful for you and would love to hear from you. Come hang out and let's connect over in my Facebook group, bit.ly.com/afreshstart, or send me a message. I look forward to seeing you back here in a few days.